Hey, pick a seed, any seed. That one? Okay, is this your seed? Remember this seed. Hey, you. Remember this seed. Don't tell me which one it is. Okay. Is this it? He wagged. It's a dead giveaway. I'm a magician. I've been a magician for many... Okay, no, I'm not. That's a big, fat, stinking lie. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the land of Voo. My name is Ray. I am the host of this nonsense I lovingly call the Garden of Voo, or the Voodoo Garden. And my wonderful co-host Rascal is here today. We're doing something that we haven't done in a long years here in the Voodoo Garden. I was trying to figure out how to do this, and because YouTube has changed so much throughout the years that I'm unable to send private messages to people, and they're unable to send private messages to me. What I wanted to do is a seed giveaway, not my yearly seed giveaway over on the Praxis 5572 channel where I do it every January. I want to do a little bit of something special for you here in the Voodoo Garden, something separate from that blowhard over on the Praxis channel. So I have something over here I want to show you, but that's going to have to wait. All right, just a few moments. Don't you go fast forwarding through this video. That's not nice. I wanted to show you something before we get started because it's an update and it's something that you may not see again here in the Voodoo Garden. These are a couple sorry cases that I have. I mentioned that I had spider mites that attacked my papaya tree. Well, what I did was I mixed neem, which is made from some kind of a juniper pine tree, something like that. It's called neem oil. And that's a natural type product. It's not like it naturally pours out of a tree, but it's extracted from a tree. It's not like made from gasoline or something like that. And then we also have pyrethrin. There are different types, but this one is made from chrysanthemum. Yeah, the flower. So these are two insecticides which are very effective. Back in the day when I first started growing stuff, I used chemicals. That's the way that I was taught. You use chemicals. You use Job's spike strip things that you shove into the soil, or Miracle Grow. You jam it in there. You grow your plants. That's how it's done. Plant gets a problem. You spray it with chemicals. Diazinon, malathion. Yeah, it was a big old DDT era back then. Well, I've grown past that method of gardening. Not that I put down anybody that grows that way. That's just not what I do. I grew past it, not above it, but past it. Now I grow as organic and natural as I can because I prefer it that way. That's just my way of growing. Well, when you do grow in that method, did you notice it's brighter in here today? Yeah, I left the lights on today. I figured, what the heck? This is what it really looks like in the Garden of Voo. It's actually very bright in here. Anyway, back to, I have no idea why I brought that up. It just entered my head. I have to say it, otherwise it stays in my head. It's like throwing out the garbage. Anyway, when you do use organic methods, sometimes it can be a little bit more difficult to do our gardening because natural methods or close to natural methods tend to work a little slower because nature's in no hurry. Okay, so they either don't work as well as chemicals because chemicals are like using a nuclear bomb. Whereas this is like using a little brush to brush things away. You kind of nudge things in a natural way. Well, I mixed up into a sprayer, a pump sprayer, neem and pyrethrin. That was my answer because normally I would spray with something a little bit milder, like mix half rubbing alcohol, half water, and hit like if it were aphids or something like that. If it were fungus gnats in the soil, I'd use a little bit of peroxide with water, douse the soil, put out some sticky traps. Not a big deal. Well, with spider mites, everybody has their nemesis. Spider mites are something that just make me cringe as a gardener because I've been hit by them before and I know what they can do. So I'm very afraid of having them in the Voodoo Garden because spider mites, unlike most insects, spread on just a poof of air. They will spread all over your grow area and they will infest everything. So everything gets infested. So you're trying to fight it, the fire on this front, and then you got to go over here, and then you got to go over here, and then you got to go to work. You can't be at home, and everything just falls apart on you. Your whole life turns to suck really fast. So what I do is I make sure I hit them hard, or I throw the plant away. I know that sounds really sad. That Ray, you love plants. Why would you throw it away? Well, sometimes you got to know when to dump. Okay, just dump it out call it quits, start new. In 2012, I believe it was, when I lived in Windham, I had what I call the Great Spider Mite Invasion. They blew in on a cloud of doom and they took over the Voodoo Garden and they wiped me out. It was sad. It was so sad, and I tried everything I could to get rid of them. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Spider mites are wicked little creatures. You never know if your treatment is going to work on them. Well, this time I sprayed this tree. I went over it 2 different times with that concoction of mine, and it was actually about maybe 5 to 10 times the strength of what I needed, because I realized that when I use these products as directed, they don't seem to work as well. And I wasn't playing with these things. I don't want them spreading, so I hit it hard. Top to bottom, trunk, soil, around the plant, and every other plant around the plant the first time. The second time, I noticed that they were still here. That was about maybe 2 weeks later. They should have been dead. I noticed they were still here. So I did it again. This time I didn't fool around. I did top to bottom, trunk, and all the plants around, and then I thought, what the heck? I did the whole room. I sprayed the floors. I sprayed everywhere around here. It stunk. I just closed up the room and called it a day and let it stink for 2 days before I came back in here. Well, it seemed to cure the problem on this plant, but I want to show you up close. This is what can happen when you treat your plants. It's not something that you should be too awful afraid of, because it's kind of like chemotherapy. You know, if you have cancer and then you go through chemotherapy, chemotherapy is going to mess you up really bad. But then again, sometimes you have to go through fire to come out cleansed on the other side. And that's what I did with this one. And I'm crossing my fingers, hoping that the cure wasn't as bad as the disease. As robust as this plant used to be. And it was. Look at the stems. See, I topped it off, I pruned it back, and you can see the new growth coming out. It's a beauty. Now the leaves, they started to look a little funky. Now here's what a happy, healthy papaya leaf is supposed to look like. Nice and green. It has a little bit of lightness around the edges, but not a big deal. Here's what they started to look like. A little bit off. It was hard for me to explain, so this way I can at least show you. A little bit off, kind of blotchy looking maybe. Yeah, that was a symptom. So I sprayed them, and let me move over, I'm not done yet. I sprayed them. Here's another affected one. And what happened is the first spraying, everything was fine. It seemed to kill them. But then I saw some more moving ones a couple weeks later, and so I sprayed it again. And this is what can happen when you over-treat your plants. This is not from the spider mites. This is from nothing else other than a lot of stress caused by spraying. Each plant will demonstrate their stress a little bit different. This is what it looks like on a papaya. Yeah, it's awful. The leaves are dying, they're falling off, but there is hope. There is hope. I look at the newer leaves. See, when you're looking at how damaged a plant is, it's not so much the older leaves that you want to worry about, because those are the ones that were under attack and the ones that got treated. The ones that never did get treated, those are the new ones coming out. So I keep an eye on this. As long as those look nice and healthy, all is not lost. Eventually, all of these older leaves will be gone. And it's going to have long, graceful looking stems and new growth coming up. At least that's the plan. Now if the spider mites come back, I don't know if this plant can take another hit. See, I might just have to cut off all the growth and let it grow new shoots from the trunk. That's the best that I can do, other than throwing it out. And I really don't want to throw this plant out because I've had it for so long and it's an absolute beauty. Now here is a plant that is going outside. This is a Dieffenbachia, or dung cane. You can see by the looks of the leaves, something isn't quite right in Dieffenbachia town. See the light discoloration around here? Generally, light discoloration around the perimeters of the leaves does not mean it's under attack by insects, but there was something a little bit off about this coloring, and I took my magnifying glass and I also looked at the blotches, the dots, and once you've had plants for a long time, you get to know. You know, it's like having a kid. You know when your kid has the flu or a cold. You just know as a parent. I've grown these so long, I knew that there was something other than just a little bit of lightness around the leaves. So I took my magnifying glass. This has spider mites. Yeah. And maybe I shouldn't have touched it. Okay, I'm going to have to wipe my fingers off. But this one had them really bad the first time. I sprayed it and they came back again. Dieffenbachia, for some reason for me, always tend to get spider mites. Don't know why. Now this one cannot take another spraying because it's been rooted relatively recently. Remember, I rooted this thing along with this other plant over here, the horse mask, I believe it was. The horse mask isn't doing so well. So it didn't root as well as the Dieffenbachia. The Dieffenbachia isn't really that much progressed in its rooting for me to want to save it. I can get one inexpensive at the store and just start all over new. So I'm going to dump the soil, I'm going to dump the plants, and it will be no more in the Garden of Voo. Sometimes you have to make those tough decisions, and this is one of those. It's going to go outside. Hey, little crackhead. Yeah, Papa baby. It's cold outside today. Ooh, it's frigid out there. And this one is going to go outside. It's not that I'm going to just dump it out. What I'm going to do is take the soil and the plant, and I'm going to put it over by my wood pile. It'll get covered with leaves and stuff. You never know. Maybe it won't come back the next spring. Maybe it will. I'm giving it every opportunity, but it's got to go outside. Sorry, that's just tough love, and I have to make the decisions in here. All right, now, enough of the sad stuff. I wanted to get on to something fun. People send me seeds. You know that. I send out seeds every year, but I also get seeds in return. And I grow as much as I possibly can. I just cannot grow everything. But I do appreciate the gift nonetheless. So I come up with extra seeds. This is just a small fraction of what I received. But I want to share these because I think they're actually very interesting. And some of these can be grown inside. Some of them can't. But since it's the end of the season and less people are thinking about growing outside, more people are starting to think about growing inside, I thought, ooh. Yeah, I did actually think, ooh. I thought, ooh, I could actually offer some seeds to folks and maybe they want to grow them inside their house. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a very small VoodooGarden seed giveaway contest. Yeah, it'll have to be a contest. Now, YouTube, in its infinite wisdom, decided to change their site. You used to be able to send a private message to somebody. I could send one to somebody, somebody could send that to me. So what I would do is I would have a seed giveaway or a contest, and like say if you're the 12th comment, I would find out who the 12th comment is. I would send them a private message and ask them for their address. They would send it to me. I would send them their prize. That's how it worked. Well, they took away the private message thing. So Mike the dishwasher and I, we kind of brainstormed on how to work this, and here's what we came out with. What I'm going to do is, if you're interested in these, I would like for you to send me not a self-addressed stamped envelope, a letter or a note with the name of the seed that you're interested in. Okay, if you want to write me something, that's fine. I'll read it. I love reading mail, so if you want to do that, that's fine. But at least put the name of the seed that you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put those into a container here in the Voodoo Garden, and then I'm going to have a drawing. And then when I draw your name, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give the address or anything, I'm just going to tell you your name, probably your first name, and tell you that you've won. And then with your address on the outside of the envelope, write legibly, okay? Write so that I can read it. Don't just go scribbling. Print it legibly, because if I can't read it, I can't send it, okay? Because I have to make out an envelope to send you your seeds. So what I'll do is I'll just announce the winner, set it aside, I will send you your seeds, you'll receive them in the mail from me and little tiny R. Now, they're going to probably come in a padded envelope, a little tiny brown padded envelope, so you'll have to keep an eye out for that. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. I'm going to set these right here. I have a few things. I have wild tomato seeds. These are genuine wild tomatoes, not just tomatoes that I grew and they went wild. These are actually the ancestors of modern day tomatoes. They grow wild. Yeah, they do. And if you want to know what a wild tomato looks like, look it up online, go to Google. I don't want to post a picture because then I have to steal somebody's picture and then copyright, and then everybody goes to court and I end up going broke. So, wild tomato. I have a few of those actually. I have, what does Ray have? 1, 2, 3. I have 3 packets of these, and each one has like a dozen or 2 dozen seeds in it. I will give you those, and you can grow those indoors, outdoors, doesn't matter to me, wherever you feel like growing them. Wild tomato. I also have in here, I love going through seeds. I don't know, for some reason it makes me happy. Candy onion. Have you ever heard of candy onions? Now, I'm sure that this isn't going to be much of an indoor thing, but I figured, what the heck? It's about maybe 2 dozen seeds. Candy onions. Those are strange. Now, oh, here's another wild tomato. So now I have 4. It just keeps growing. This is strange. It's called red flesh potato. These are potato seeds. Yes, they are. It's about maybe 10 seeds. Don't know if any of these are germinated. I got them this year and last year. But then again, seeds will last a long time. I can't guarantee any of these seeds will grow or all of them will grow. All I'm guaranteeing is that I will send them to you and you can give them your best shot. Red flesh potatoes. That's odd. All right, now here's another one. It's called moringa. You've probably heard of moringa plants. They're grown in some areas of the world because they're an all-purpose plant. Every single part of this plant is edible. Root, stem, leaves, everything, and they grow fast, okay? Moringa seeds, and they're really funky looking seeds too. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take a field trip up to your face and shove them in your face and show you what they look like. Yeah, moringa seeds. This is what they look like. Big, weird, stinking seeds. You just plant the whole thing. I have like, what, 4, 8? I'm going to send you all of them. You can grow all the moringas you want. Okay, second to the last one, I have a lot of these. So what I'm going to do with this one is break it up into 4. Okay, there's a lot of seeds. These are so tiny. You would be so surprised when you saw them. They don't even look like seeds at all. They just look like little minuscule dots. But there's probably like 10,000 of them in this little tiny bag. This is called Havana tobacco. Yeah, Havana tobacco. I don't know if it's really from Havana. I don't know. All I know is it's tobacco seeds. You've seen me grow tobacco in the Voodoo Garden. It was a scream. I was growing these big old plants. They were flowering. They were going nuts in the Voodoo Garden. And then I took them outside and I grew them outside. And the nice thing about tobacco plants is they have this weird thing going on about them. When little gnats and stuff land on them, they stick to them. Yeah, it's kind of gross. So you may not want to smoke these leaves if you got a lot of bugs on them, or rinse them off. But more than likely, it's tobacco that people can, they can make their own tobacco. Or what I do, since I'm a non-smoker, I grow things just for the fun of it. They are beautiful plants. They bring in the pollinators. They have trumpet-shaped flowers, and each flower will turn into this pod, which has like about 1,000 seeds. So once you grow just one of these plants, you'll have enough seeds to give to all your friends. They'll have seeds to give to their friends, and all of a sudden we got the whole country covered in tobacco. I'm going to do 4 of those. And the last, but definitely not the least, this is one that I really am happy to offer you. This is a sunflower. You think, sunflower. No, this is no regular sunflower. This is called the American Giant Sunflower. These are leftover seeds, and there are 6 of them. I'm going to send you all 6. I'm sure at least one of them is going to grow. These are the seeds that I grew that big sunflower out on the Praxis 55712 channel, the one outside. People were asking me, do you have any seeds from them? Well, these are the seeds that grew that plant. I didn't save any seeds from the actual plant, but these are the seeds that make that plant. If you want to grow the same plant that I grew out there, this big fat stinking plant with a giant head, and also it sends out side stems with multiple heads after the big head is done. It's a fun one to grow. This is the sunflower, and it's called American Giant. It's supposed to get super tall, but mine didn't, but it made up for it in the size of the plant. Monstrosity of a plant. Those are my offerings, and I'm very happy to offer them here on the Voodoo Garden. Now, once again, what I need you to do is on the return side of your envelope, write your name and your address very clearly, print it clearly, to make certain I can read it, okay? Don't just scribble it on there. Do that and then send it to me. My address is going to be below this video, or underneath the video window it says show more. Click on those words, show more. It will expand it and it will have my address. The reason I'm not telling you my address is because this giveaway, I'm going to accept envelopes postmarked no later than October 31st of 2018. Okay, so you need to get them out now. Have your envelope postmarked no later than October 31st, 2018, and then send it to me at the address listed below. I'll list my address. After October 31st, I'm going to remove that address. So if you're seeing this video after that date, I have removed my address because the contest is no longer valid. So send me that. I'm going to have a drawing here. As soon as I get them all in, I'll probably have it sometime in November, but I won't make it too close to Thanksgiving. I want to make sure I get these out before Thanksgiving, because on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, I have on my Facebook page yearly seed swap exchange. That is it's like a carnival. All of my Facebook friends, they come together on my page. They bring whatever seeds they've saved throughout the year. And they list them on a certain time, on a certain day. We all kick it off and we list what seeds we have to offer. No strings attached. Anybody that wants those seeds, all they have to do is claim them. The person will send them to you. You don't have to even have seeds. You just have to show up. It's kind of like a potluck dinner amongst friends. Even if you don't have anything to offer, we want you to be there and we want to offer you the excess of our bounty. So it's a great way to make friends, because a lot of people have made really good friends there, and also to get such a huge collection of seeds from all over the country. And it's something that I started with a few extra seeds that I had, and then it grew, and now at the first Saturday after Thanksgiving, and I think it's at like 7 p.m. Central Time, all heck breaks loose and everybody's posting and it's just nuts. And so it's something that if you want to join in on, I'm going to post my Facebook page link below. And you can click on that if you have Facebook. That's the only social media I have. If you want to join my friends there, click on that. Request that I add you as a friend. I'll be very happy to add you as a friend. The only rules to my Facebook are: only post videos that you have produced yourself. Only post pictures that you have taken yourself. And be very nice to people. Very, very polite. Don't be mad at people. Keep it friendly. Keep it family friendly. Because those, my Facebook page is my personal page. It's where me and anybody who's friendly can join in, and we can have a good conversation without fear of any kind of negativity joining us. And if you're looking for something like that, head on over there. Everybody's welcome. I don't care where you live. I don't care who you are. As long as you can follow those few basic steps, you're more than welcome there. And the November seed swap, it is something to behold. It is crazy. But every day there, we're always posting pictures, talking about our gardens, our pets, and asking questions. Everybody pulls in and answers the questions. It is a gardening group unlike others. There's no attitudes. There's no people lording anything over anybody. There's no dumb questions. No, any question you have is not a dumb question. That's what I always say, and that's what everybody over there says. If you need to know the answer, there's no dumb question. So you ask any question you want. You communicate with people as much as you want. Everybody is freely welcome to come there and to be friends with us. So that's what I got going there. This is what I have going over here. I think it's a fun thing. I think it's a fun thing, and I'm glad to offer it here on the Voodoo Garden, where, as I like to say, everything is possible. So if you're interested in these, send me that envelope, send it out quick. And if you're interested in the November seed swap, if you want to grab some seeds, or if you just happen to have a few extra and you want to offer them to anybody who wants them, head on over there, and it's a fun place. All right, this is Rascal, My Seeds, and I. We got to get out of here. I got to get this diseased little booger out of my Voodoo Garden before those little creatures start floating all over the place. Until next time, this is Ray and Tiny R. We are out of here. Are we out of here? All right. Is this your seed? He shuns me. He turned his back. Show me your butt. Ooh, that's a really nice butt you got there. Can I scratch it?